Alright, so my battery mount's on. It's all into place, screwed it in, Loctited these 4 screws. It's all into place. Now, next thing you need to do is you grab your tail boom. Again, this isn't a line tail boom, just parts I had in stock when I rebuilt this heli after the last accident or incident, whichever way you look at it. What you need to do, see that slot there? That's the front, that's the one that goes in your tail block, goes into that lug that I was speaking about before. You also need to grab your tail box, like this. Depending on your kit, the tail box either comes pre-assembled like this, minus the blades. The blades aren't on, it's not a big issue, it's just 2 screws through the blade grips, through the blades. You want them to be able to move nice and free. Don't make them too stiff. If you have them too stiff, you can get oscillation and vibration feeding back through your helicopter, causing all kinds of drama. But depending on your helicopter, you can either get the bare tail box with this tail spindle, which is that shaft that you can see coming out, and that's it as one unit. Or some kits come with this bell crank here, that one there, and this tail rotor assembly there, pre-installed. If your helicopter comes with them separate, it's not a big issue. On one side of this tail rotor hub, there's an Allen headed grub screw there, and that's just a little bit of slot that you can see twisting there. It's nothing to be worried about, and you just slide this hub down over the end of that tail spindle until it's nice and flush. You know, the outside's nice and good. And you put this grub screw in and you tighten it up nice and tight, maybe a little bit stronger than the 2-finger rule that I said before. I'm using 3 now, with Loctite on it. Make sure it's all good. Make sure your linkages are all set up nice and good to your pitch slider. Your pitch slider is this bit here, this one here, the part that actually slides up and down the tail spindle. Okay? There's a little brass bush in it. It doesn't need to be a bearing because the shaft doesn't actually spin inside of it. It stays still, stays stationary. So, make sure that's good. Then you come around and then you put this bell crank on. And there is a little bearing, 2 tiny little bearings, here and here. And the screw goes through and goes in and mounts into this little arm out here. The plastic ones do look a little bit different. However, it is still the same thing. Might look different, however the design is exactly the same. Alright, so you've got your ball link on your bell crank, you've got your bell crank on, your pitch slider assembly, your tail blade grips, your tail blade hub, and your tail box, and that is what we call a tail box assembly. So now you grab your tail boom, just like this, okay, and the end where it's got the dot in it, just a little hole, that's the end that goes into your tail box. So you grab your tail belt just like that, and the hole with the end with the hole in it, you slide down through your tail tube. Might be necessary to use a bit of WD-40, sometimes it is a bit sticky, or you can use a small push rod and push it through, or I've been using an air compressor with the blower nozzle and blowing it through. I quite like my air tools, so I'll be back in a second once I've got this fed through, and we'll continue.